Hi everybody, welcome to my latest video. Myself and Steve are here to welcome you. Steve is my annoyingly persistent cold sore that keeps coming up every month, and it's annoying because I don't want to co-host for the show really. And if anyone has any suggestions out there for good lip sunscreen, I'm on board because I've tried everything and I'm pretty sure this thing gets caused by the sun, and it's extremely frustrating and probably kind of gross to look at as well. Anyway, he's here, I'm here, and maybe you can see behind me, I'm also in darkness. And that's because the sun hasn't shone for a while, and it kind of screws up my plans for work, which you'll find out about at the end of the video. But I do get a bunch of stuff done. We finish off the olive harvest, I do some stuff in the garden, and then we go back inside the house to work on the shower. And I'm really, really pleased with the work that I got done in there, and I'm excited to show you that. So watch to the end to see all of the shower plastering action, and there's lots of stuff, fun stuff before that as well. So let's just get into the video, and myself and Steve will see you again at the end. Holy crap, that was a crazy bolt of lightning right in front of me, and very loud thunder. So I'm happy I captured that. That's the kind of day it's been. And anyway, let's get into the video, and I'll see you at the end. Okay, Jasper, you don't need to be digging holes at my place. You already terrorized Sinead's enough. What's in there? What's in there? So we've got the whole team of dogs. Hey, Coco. She's leaving us tonight, I think. Jasper's visiting. Dragon's over there somewhere. And we've got the olive team back together.
The dream team.
So we're going to try to do my place today, and then...
What are you doing?
You know, holding the camera as usual, interviewing the people. So, where did you go yesterday, Bex?
We went to Castelo Branco, the city lights.
What for?
To drop off our olives.
And how many olives did we have?
We had 737 olives.
Kilos of olives. So were you impressed with the haul?
To be fair, it was better than last year, wasn't it?
Fewer people. So I'm not going to film any more olive picking, I don't think. I'll check in again at the end. You've seen enough olives, but...
This is round 2.
This is round 2? So we're aiming for maybe another 500 or so?
I think, yeah.
Yeah, that's what we were saying this morning.
How many buckets are we getting today, Al?
Let's go for 10.
So we've got a busy day ahead of us, including lunch out at a local cafe, a visit from the mechanic, and Sinead's going to be ducking out to do some work online. So this is us at 0 buckets. Let's see if we can get to 10. What do you think?
Yeah.
We got this.
We'll try.
Come on, guys. Sound energetic. What do you think?
Woo!
All right.
Okay.
All right, shadowy figures. How many buckets did we get today?
7.
7 good
ones though, 7 good
Of
ones.
which?
17.
Yeah, 7 of the
So we
finest.
didn't reach our goal, but
It's going to be the best store yet.
We were 3 short of our goal.
Any guesses on our quantity of oil?
130.
130?
Yeah, 130.
You guys are both going 130.
130.
132.
Okay, and yourself?
I'm gonna go 136.
I'm gonna go
camera's just died.
142. Go, team! Until next time. Well, it's kind of gloomy out there and it's a bit cold, and I have been enjoying sitting in front of the fire, but there's work to do, especially since the rain is coming, and it's going to rain pretty solidly for the next week, I think. So I've got some things I'd like to get done, starting with a garden task, well, sort of a garden task, that I've been meaning to do for quite a while, involving this crazy spreading plant. I'd love to chop off some of these and embed them in a wall down by the lemon tree, so that it can hold the soil and look green and nice instead of just being an ugly sort of cliff of dirt. So I don't remember what this plant is called, but I can see that it wants to grow and spread, and I'm thinking if I plant some sort of towards the top, maybe eventually it'll kind of work its way down the hill, making a lovely green sort of wall, which is much better than what it is right now, and it'll look prettier, and it'll also hopefully help hold the soil. I am wondering actually if there's stones the whole way along. There's evidence of stone wall over there, and here, and here, and there's a big stone there. So I don't know, maybe this is actually a stone terrace wall. Let's investigate. I don't know. It's really hard to tell. Got some stones in here, but definitely not enough to make a wall. So I'd say that there's no wall in this part, and I'm just gonna plant some stuff up above, starting at the top, and then it'll, in theory, cascade down, and hopefully look pretty cool. Oops. Okay, done. I've got maybe about 15 in there. I've also cleared the soil away from the bottom, and I've put it over my compost because I saw plenty of worms in there, and I feel like it's going to be a really nice soil. So I'll stick it on the compost, and it'll be ready for next year to be used in the garden. So I'm happy with that. I'm feeling cautiously optimistic, which is how I was feeling when I planted these guys, and they're not looking so good, I gotta say. I planted a winter garden, I want to say about 2 weeks ago, maybe a little less. And since then, the lovely dogs we had visiting at the olive harvest have dug up a few beds. It's over there, a little bit over there. Nothing too serious, but there's not a lot of action happening. So far we've got what I think are garlic, some garlic over there. No signs of life in here. Oh, some carrots. Some carrots are coming up, so that's exciting. And then over here where I planted the chorizo, probably over 2 weeks ago, I've only got 1, 2, 3. So I'm gonna go at this again, stick way more in the ground, and hopefully I'll have more popping up pretty soon. So I guess I can do a little bit of weeding as I go. Clear the bed out a bit, give the lupins a chance to spring up above the weeds. I don't know if you can hear in the distance, but there's the sound of what's called a tickler. Oh, I think, no, that's a weed. It's basically this crazy machine with these long fingers that sort of knocks the olives off the trees. And it's basically what the locals who know their stuff use. I think it's a fairly expensive machine, but it speeds the process up a lot. So it could be something possibly to invest in the future. But I think for the moment, I actually really do like picking olives by hand. I had a lot of fun this year, but it did take up loads of my time. And so I feel like I haven't really worked on my own stuff for a while, which is a little bit frustrating, but it's also nice to have a break. I've been down at Sanchez doing stuff, olives obviously, and with the rain coming, I'd like to prepare to do some work inside the house. And I think since I have loads of lime ready to go, I'm gonna return to working on my shower because I really love that project and I'm almost done all the layers before I put the Tadilact on. So Tadilact is a waterproofing method. It's a Moroccan technique. But before I get to that stage, I've got one more layer to do. And I've also been kind of screwed over a bit with my broken car. The car is fine now, by the way. It cost around 100 euros. It just needed a new battery. And then a friend came, he's a mobile mechanic, he came to my place and fixed it. So it ended up being very easy to deal with and not super, super expensive. And I've never changed the battery in this car since I've had it, which is about for 5 years. So I guess it's not surprising that that happened. But it's meant that I haven't been able to go get materials. So I need some more lime to be able to work on the foundation. I want to go buy a piece of wood to use as a bathroom counter. And there's just some things I need in town to continue on projects. But one thing I definitely do have lots of is lime, so that means I can push forward on that without needing to go into town. So I'll get a few more of these in the ground. Hopefully I'll have better luck this time. And then I'll head up top because I've got some sand sifting in my future. Okay, let's give them a little drink, even though it's supposed to pour down with rain for the next week. Let's just give them a little bit of a water to get them started. And let's get these guys a little water as well. And then I'm gonna call it quits on the garden outside stuff and start to prepare for work in the house tomorrow. But I'm really, really curious to see if this works, because if it does, I think it's gonna look very cool. And I know Sinead has lots of places on her land that she needs to plant things to hold the soil, and I think these look really pretty. I barely water the things. Actually, I do water them quite a bit in the summer, but I haven't given them so much attention over the years, and it just seems to keep thriving. So let's see if this works. I'll keep checking in. And yeah, report back and keep you informed. Okay, next up, sand sifting. And I think I've made a mistake. I left this uncovered because I wanted it to dry out, but I guess it's rained overnight last night and it's wet again. So I don't know if this is actually gonna work or not. I made this gizmo. It's one of the first things I think I made back when I first arrived on the land like 5 years ago to sift sand, and I haven't really used it much, but in this case I'm doing the final layer of my shower, and I really want it to be as smooth as possible. So I want nice fine sand without any big lumps or rocks or sticks or any crap in it, so it's going to be nicer to work with and easier for me to do the job. So you can see all these little pebbles, sticks, random olive pits, all sorts of things that I don't want in my final plaster are just sitting here on top. So it looks like this is gonna work. Let's just get rid of this stuff, be gone. And it's left me with some very fine, very beautiful sand to work with. So this is gonna take a little while, but it's kind of weirdly enjoyable, so I don't mind so much. I'm just hoping the rain doesn't come. It seems like it's on its way, and that would be unfortunate because I'm not ready. So I'm just gonna get on with this, and when I'm done, I'm gonna have a beautiful bucket of usable extra fine sand to lime onto my shower. This has been a sort of satisfying job, but I gotta say it's a little rough on the back, so hopefully this is gonna be enough. Just look at that soft, soft sand. I feel like this is gonna be a joy to work with. So I think what I'd like to do is mix up some lime now, because the weather has been really damp, and if I mix it up tomorrow, I'm afraid that all the moisture in the sand is going to mean that the lime won't be usable for a little while until it dries out. So if I can mix it now, then that's the way forward, but we're going to do it the snappy way. Okay, that's ready to go, and I can already tell it's going to be too soupy, so what I've done is brought out a tray of it so it can hopefully have a chance to dry out a little bit in front of the lovely fire. And right now, it's raining, so I'm very happy to have finished the work outside, and I'm looking forward to a nice cozy evening in, and hopefully an early start tomorrow where I'm planning to work on the shower. Well, it's not exactly an early start. It's about 10:30, and it's not raining out here, which is what I was expecting, so I should probably be outside working on something out there, but I'm really motivated to get going on this shower. You can see the neighbors are out picking the olives. That's always great to see, and they're using the machine there in the background called the tickler that I mentioned before. And yeah, it looks like they're really powering through. So I've got everything set up. I've got a few more things to do. I've got to take the shower head off. I've got to adjust some things, but you can see that this is pretty crusty already just after a day of sitting around. So I'm going to rehydrate it a little bit, do some prep, and I'll be ready to go very soon. Okay, the lime has been rehydrated and relocated. I've got my spray bottle down there, some water. I've put down some protection for the tiles. I've got my scaffolding. I should probably remove the taps, but I'm going to see if I can work around them. I've taken off the shower head, and the last thing I need to do before I can get started is remove the window. So the window's been removed, and now it's time to confront some artistic decisions. So I'd like to break up the shower so it's not just one big solid mass of color. And I was gonna do that just using the lime and making a sort of line, but now I'm wondering if I could use tiles in some way. So these are left over from when I did the bottom of the shower, and I'm thinking perhaps I could make either a 1-level or 2-level border with the tiles. So let's go stick this in the shower and see what it looks like. So the shower is quite gigantic, and it's going to take a lot of work to plaster it all in one go, and it'll definitely take a lot of work to Cadillac it in one go. I don't even know if it would be possible without cramming 5 people in here at once. So I'd like to perhaps do some kind of a, this is probably really hard to show with one hand, some sort of a border. Either a straight line across, or perhaps I get more creative and do something mosaic-y. I don't really know yet. Making the final artistic decisions is always something that's really hard for me because it's final. But now I'm at the point where I have to make some decisions, and I really don't know what to do. So maybe it makes sense to separate the top and the bottom sort of at this level here. I'd like to make this a bit flatter so I can put things on top of it, and I can do that with lime. So I probably need to get the level out and draw a line from this point all the way around. I could also get creative with this window part, possibly doing tiles around the outside, or maybe highlighting it in some way, either with tiles or with different layers of lime. And then over here, there's loads of opportunity for creativity. I've already got my little windows that will have little lights inside them. But, you know, I could build up the lime around each one. I could have some kind of a border around them, or I could just do a very simple line separating the top from the bottom. So I have a lot of decisions to make. So I've got my pencil, I'm gonna do some drawing on the wall, make some decisions, make some hard choices, and see if I can come up with some kind of a creative vision for the shower. Okay, the creative vision has been decided. It involves these two parallel lines around the whole shower, and it involves a double layer of tiles. And the tiles will go a little something like this. How I'll get them attached on, I have no idea. Perhaps I can just embed them into the lime. I'm not sure yet, but I can figure that out tomorrow, because today I'm just gonna focus on the top part. There's lots of complicated little curvy bits to do, especially with these windows, which are quite complicated. So I would normally be plastering a thin layer onto a smoother surface. This is gonna be challenging, and the windows are definitely gonna be a complete pain in the hole. So if I can sand away some of the most offensive bumps, it might make this final layer of plaster a lot easier for me to do. That's my theory anyways. I've only really done finished plaster twice, inside my creepy corner closet, and then another little bit in the kitchen as well, but it was flat walls, fairly smooth. And so this is definitely gonna be a challenge, but I love a challenge, and I think once I get this all finished, it's gonna, hopefully, if I can make it turn out how I'm expecting it to, hopefully it'll look very, very cool. Okay guys, this is going to be pretty difficult work. I don't even know what the right tool for the job is really. Let's start with this guy and hope for the best. So, wish me luck. So it looks like the storm has finally arrived. I can hear the pitter-patter of the rain. I can hear the chitter-chatter of the olive pickers who seem to be packing up and heading home. Picking olives in the rain is not enjoyable. What is enjoyable is this job. Even though it's going to be incredibly time-consuming, I think what I'll end up doing is refining everything with a sponge once it gets a bit drier. But my task for right now is just getting all this stuff on the wall. You've seen me work on the first one. This is what it looks like right now. I'm going to complete some more, and I'll probably check in again when we're ready to do the window part. Okay, I'm at the window part, and I'm ready to work on that on camera. but I thought I'd show you what I've done so far. So you can see here, it's a little bit messy. There's things to smooth out, and then over at this part, it's a lot smoother. It's still a bit speckly, and that's because the next layer, which will be Tadillac at some point in the future, probably far future, needs that sort of roughness to grip onto. So I'm going to basically give this a spray. That should do it. And then over here in my very cramped working quarters, I've got the sponge. So the sponge isn't crazy wet, it's just a little bit damp. But combined with the dampness of the lime, it smoothes things out nicely. It's a bit trickier with these little window hole things, so I probably have to do a couple passes on this, come back with the trowel a little bit. But things are nice and still nice and soft, so I can still kind of affect things. Yeah, so then over here we've got the same thing, some little lines and stuff like that, and if I can just smooth it all out with the sponge, it ends up looking, I think, really cool. And sponging lime isn't something I've done much of in the past. I usually just kind of do a trowel finish, but I haven't really done very much final plaster of lime, as I mentioned, so this seems to be a technique that I'm going to use into the future because I feel like it makes things look really uniform and really very nice. Okay, so the sponge is going away. I'll come back to these little windows in a little while, and I'm going to continue plastering around the window, and it's going to be pretty tricky, but I gotta say, so far, things are going a little bit better than I had expected. So, I'm feeling encouraged. Let's see if we can find the right tools. It is very hard working in this tiny space, I gotta say. It makes filming a little tricky, so hopefully I can kind of give an idea of what I'm up to. And then I'll put the camera away again and continue to power on because I still have a lot of work ahead of me. And I think it's about 3 or 4 p.m. But I gotta say, it is quite satisfying doing this work, and seeing it kind of come together a little bit better than I was expecting is really, really encouraging. So you'll notice little screw holes here. I don't really remember how I dressed these when I did the previous layer, so I think my strategy is just to cover them up and then to push the window back in before it's fully dried. The lime will stay quite soft for a long time, so I don't think there'll be any troubles getting it in there. And then once the window is on, I might find that it's hard to get off later on when I do the Cadillac part, but that's a long way down the line, so I'll cross that bridge when I come to it. So that seems pretty good to me. I feel like I need to get the ladder out and see what's actually happening up here. I can't really see it very well. But it'll stay soft for a while, as I mentioned, so I can try to perfect things in a little while. Right now, I have a lot of stuff to keep doing and not a lot of time left, so I'm going to carry on and check in again when it's all or mostly done and I'm ready for some more sponge action. Well, unfortunately, I forgot to film the sponging action, and that's partly because, well, I just forgot, but also because I sponged it and then I troweled it smooth. So this is a flexible Japanese trowel, and I did that because I decided that I don't think I'm going to tattalack the top part. I think I'm going to keep it a little bit rough because the water isn't likely to get up here anyway, and I think it's going to be super hard to tattalack in there. So I think it looks really, really cool. I'm very, very happy with it, and as you can see, it's dark outside now, so I've been going at this for quite some time, to say the least. So right now, I'm gonna see if I can get the little shower holding gizmo back on there, and I'll see if I can trim off some of the edge around where the towels are gonna go. So I'm really not sure the best way to do this. I've got this thing here that holds the shower head on, got this tiny Allen key. There might be lime kind of behind this, which wouldn't be ideal. And I basically just need to make space for this thing to sit in here. So, I guess maybe I can pull it away a little bit while it's still a bit sort of wet. Squash it in there, and then sort of refill it around it, because there's no reason that I can think of that I need to take this piece off now once I get it on. This should be forever. I don't know if this is exactly going to plan, but let's see if there's enough space there. Ah, this way. And then there's this tiny little screw, which I'm amazed I haven't lost yet. Should probably knock on wood after saying that. That goes up here in the top somewhere, which is quite difficult to do because I can't see anything. What's my strategy here? So I set up a chair, I got the thing fastened on, and I actually just walked away for a minute to pick up this trowel. And when I came back, I saw the butt of a cat that is not my cat. It was kind of a, I don't know, it's kind of a grayish, spotty coated cat, and I don't know what it was doing in here. Don't know how it managed to scratch down there, and I don't know what it wants from me, but I really, really cannot be a three-house cat. This place is tiny, so I'm hoping it's not gonna become part of the family. Hopefully Mikey and Larry defend the castle. I have seen it a few times where that cat has actually been up here, and then my cats flip out and chase it away. So I don't know. I'll keep you updated on that. But yeah, no more cats. No more cats. Maybe Sinead can be convinced to take it on. Okay, so I've got this thing attached. I'm just gonna wet it, and then I've got this trowel, and I'm wondering if I can get away with just pushing the existing stuff in to fill the gap a little bit. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Can't see what's going on up there. I think I need to put the camera down and give us some more attention. But I think I can also manage to get some in here with one hand. So I've got a little splodge of the plaster because I've already tidied up all of my tools and the tray and everything. So I didn't want to get it all out again, but this should do the trick. Something very satisfying about this, especially since I know that this is the final resting place for this little silver thing that holds the shower head. I love finishing a job, getting a thing in place. It almost never happens, as you guys know who watch my channel. I do tend to go a bit slowly, but I don't know, knowing that this thing's gonna be in here, it's done, the job is finished, it's putting a really big smile on my face. Okay, Okay, that looks pretty good. And now my mission is to... Oh, hello, Larry. What's happening? What's up? Where were you when that other cat came in just now, huh? That's what I thought. It's not protecting the castle. That's how I ended up with Larry in the first place, because Mikey was just chilling inside and invited him in. So while I would have preferred to, at the time, to have just had one cat, actually, I would have preferred to have had no cats, but Mikey was a foster that just kind of kept on staying, and I'm very happy to have him. But I was definitely just happy with one cat, and then suddenly Mikey befriended Larry. The two of them were chilling in the house one day when I left the door open. So, who knows? Maybe they're going to invite this new cat intruder into their lives. I don't know. But if that does happen, I'm definitely going to put the hard push on Sinead to get a cat. Because this house is not big enough for 4 creatures. Okay. This seems to be going all right. I'm just looking for the line that I made underneath, trying to make it straight-ish. As I mentioned, I don't really know how I'm going to attach the tiles at all. I do think I have some tile grout left over from when I did the shower. So yeah, maybe I'll see about that. Maybe I can just stick it right in the lime. I really don't know. So I've got a little bit of research to do, and I'm not sure if I'll put the tiles on and then do the rest of the liming, or just leave a space for them to add later. Stuff to think about, some exciting things to consider, lots of exciting tile decisions to make. I think that sentence has probably never been uttered before. Okay, anyways, it's late, I'm getting tired, and I'm just talking nonsense now. So this is what I'm up to. And then I'm going to continually spray it down so it doesn't dry too fast, because if it dries too quickly, it's going to crack. And I might also think about putting the window back in there. So this is all still really soft, and this might be a horrible idea, but let's see if I can get this window in here without destroying everything. Oops. Okay. All right, that seems pretty good. Yeah, I'm really happy with that. Oops. Okay, let's get the screws in. Stay. Stay. Hello from the next day, and I wanted to show you the finished results of all of my hard work yesterday, but right as I finished putting the window in, the power went out and the lights went out, and this is my current situation still today because it's really gloomy outside. The rain has been coming down. There's no sign of sunlight, and so what I'm kind of surviving on now is this giant battery, which is on 7%, but I can swap that out for one that's down at Sinead's. And then my solar in there is sort of clicking on and off. It wants to go, and unfortunately I don't have the battery hooked up to my lights, so while I can power my computer and everything, I can't actually turn the lights on. So I've added some more lime in there and some more sand. I'm going to mix it up just so I don't run out. I've got the fire on, everything's cozy. I've been doing some computer work, some video editing, and just trying to be a little bit productive. And then over here, let me try to show you what I ended up doing. I think it looks really good. So I'm going to continue to spray it down so it doesn't crack. I don't see any sign of any cracks so far. The window's gone in. The screws really pulled it in nice and tight, and I think it looks great. The shower thing is on, and I have a big mess to clean up, but I'm gonna hopefully get back to this tomorrow if the sun shines and if the lights come back on. So this is just one of those challenges of living off grid. Sometimes the weather doesn't cooperate, and sometimes I forget to prepare as well as I could. So kind of my own fault, but I'm gonna pivot, and rather than sitting here in the dark staring at the fire, I think I'm gonna head into the wood place and look for a bathroom countertop, and possibly also some fittings and plumbing for a bathroom sink. I don't know how it works exactly, and I'm thinking I might make my own sink, so checking out some fittings first will hopefully give me some ideas on how that might all work. So it's been a complete washout of a day. I've got the tiles outside. I'll bring them in and chop them up and see if I can figure that out. I've got some lime to mix up behind me. And hopefully I can just get prepared to get to work tomorrow when the lights get on, when the lights come back on, which depends obviously on the sun. So, I hope you've enjoyed the video. Myself and Steve, thank you for watching. Hopefully Steve won't see you in the next one. I will. If you haven't subscribed already, please do subscribe. And if you do like the video, please give it a like. It really does help the channel. And I'll see you in the next one.